Welcome everyone. Today I want to talk about the Arcane Warrior specialization in Dragon Age Origins. This isn't going to be a build video, but more like a detailed breakdown of this class. Honestly, at this point, I think we all know its incredible positives, the extreme durability or the ability to wield melee weapons while still casting magic. So this time I want to focus on its downside, the misses. Which, to be fair, is a very common and very justified complaint about this specialization. The biggest problem comes from the confusion about how the attack mechanics work for Arcane Warriors, because your attack score is not visible on the character screen. So let's start by covering the basics first. The number one essential spell for Arcane Warriors is Combat Magic. Once you activate it, your magic attribute essentially turns into your strength attribute. While this ability is active, your physical damage is going to be based on magic, not strength. The strength requirements for armor and weapons will also shift to magic. Your spell power will be calculated on your magic attribute as well, which is very important because your attack, which determines your chance to hit an enemy, is gonna be based on your spell power, not on your magic. Unfortunately, it's not a one-to-one conversion. Instead of each point of spell power giving you 1 point of attack, it actually takes 5 points of spell power to equal 1 point of attack. So unlike with strength or dexterity, which requires only 2 points to convert into 1 attack, as an Arcane Warrior you need 5 magic to get 1 attack. This is why you're so inaccurate compared to the normal rogues or warriors. Now here's something interesting. Even with combat magic active, dexterity and strength will still provide you with an attack bonus. Although some people argue that only dexterity gives an attack bonus, believing that combat magic removes the bonus from strength due to the conversion, but that is simply not true. You receive the bonus from both. However, while strength and dexterity both give attack bonuses, dexterity also boosts defense, whereas strength does not. So one good option if you're building a tank or you're using daggers with your Arcane Warrior is to just simply put a few points on dexterity. Sadly, if you're building a damager who uses full-sized weapons, I wouldn't recommend this. In my opinion, the best weapon for a damager Arcane Warrior is Merrick's sword used with Kaelin's shield. These two are part of the Kaelin's arms set, which not only gives plus 5 damage, but a pretty substantial mana regeneration as well. When combined with improved combat training and the Fade Shroud passive, the regeneration is enough to fully offset the penalties from both haste and spell might. Unfortunately, since Merrick's blade is a full-sized weapon, its damage can't be improved by dexterity. Instead, you have to stack magic and boost your spell power however you can. There are 2 sustainable spells that can provide you with a pretty substantial boost of spell power. One is Spell Wisp and the other one is Spell Might. They can work extremely well with a high magic build. There is also a spell called Heroic Offense, which gives a significant attack boost based on your spell power. You can cast it on yourself when facing enemies with high defense, or just have a support mage do it for you. Wynn, for example, almost always comes with this spell when she joins the party. Calculating the effectiveness of Heroic Offense is also pretty easy. Simply add 100 to your spell power, then divide it by 10. With 100 spell power, Heroic Offense adds 20 to attack, which is actually twice as much as the bonus from Rally or Dueling. So with that said, let me just show you how you can calculate your own Arcane Warrior's attack score. I'm gonna use my own Endgame Arcane Blood Mage, who has 128 spell power. So first off, as a mage, we start with 50 basic attack at level 1, then we pick up combat magic and reinforce it with the Aura of Might passive, which is gonna give us another 10. Then we're gonna divide our 128 spell power by 5, which is gonna give us another 25.6 attack. The Arcane Warrior specialization itself gives us +5, and the level 4 combat training gives us another 6. So this far our total attack is 96.6. Now 96.6 attack is more than enough for mid-game, but falls a bit short for the endgame. However, we're not done yet. Since we already discussed that both strength and dexterity apply their attack boost, regardless of whether combat magic is active or not, let's add them as well. My Arcane Warrior after the fade and with her equipment has 18 strength and 20 dexterity. This translates to 4 attack from strength and 5 attack from dexterity, adding up to a total of 9 additional attack. Now 105 attack is already pretty good even for endgame, especially if we use weakness or have miasma on, but we still have one more spell to add to the calculation. If we calculate heroic offense based on our own spell power, it's gonna add an additional 22.8 attack. So our total attack actually comes out to 128.4, which is very similar to a normal warrior's endgame attack score. So I think now you see why I prefer this method, because by super stacking magic, we're not only maintaining our accuracy, but we also preserve our damage. Now, I'm not saying that you can't put a few points on dexterity, even when you wield full-sized weapons, but in my opinion, it's just not worth the price, especially if you want to maximize your damage. In the long run, you'll lose too much damage for a slight accuracy boost, which you won't even need by the time you reach the end. It's also worth noting that if you're gonna use the spell Haste, it's gonna debuff you with -5 attack. I like using Haste because it increases your attack speed by 33%, but I don't stack it with another mage because the attack penalty also stacks. Instead I use 5th Salve to reach maximum attack speed without any additional attack penalty. Now everything you've seen so far can be accomplished by a single Arcane Warrior. However, since you have a team, you might as well use them. Shale's Stone Aura, a champion's Rally ability, and a Bard's Song of Courage can all boost your attack score. Using all of these abilities will make sure that you're gonna land successful hits consistently, even if you're being pummeled by negative attack debuffs. The Arcane Warrior is one of my favorite specializations and a very fun class, but if you don't figure out your attack and mana regeneration, playing it can become a frustrating experience. I hope that with this video, you'll have an easier time calculating your attack and be ready to face demons, darkspawn, or whatever comes your way. Good luck!